So global mobility to the business is an area of opportunity for expansion of the company. So a lot of companies like to expand their business into new countries, and global mobility plays a critical role in that expansion. There's also an opportunity for global mobility to be seen by the business as a partner in strategic development of their employees across the world.
For the business, I would say global mobility is mainly a strategic partner for the business.
Are you able to expand on that a little bit?
Yes, I think whenever there's any project where it is required to transfer one employee or a group of employees to another country, global mobility would be the main team responsible for providing the right expertise and insights to this project in order to make sure that it is actually successful and that it is compliant, which is very important. So whenever we have this type of projects, global mobility is definitely a strategic partner in the sense that we need to provide the right information to make this work and to be successful.
So I believe that in global mobility, we have an opportunity to help connect the talent, whether it's external talent to roles or internal talent to existing opportunities. And we have this unique position within the company where we're working across different businesses and understanding what their strategies are and what their needs are, and then also having an understanding of how to actually, move the people and enable that to happen. So again, just an integral part of fostering the success for the different business groups.
From the business perspective, I would say that they always looking for building career for the talents. So they would like to invest more into the individuals who has potential and bring back the experience to build a business.
So that's the challenge. Having everyone, both employee or applicant to position to your company, on the same page on what is happening to your global mobility program, or if you're starting a global mobility program. So it's really balancing both expectations.
The idea of having borderless work exposure and being able to work where you want to work or work from anywhere, it is a fallacy. I think it is an interesting concept and an interesting idea that I would love the world to be ready for. But the reality is that within global scenarios like that, each country has its own immigration laws, its tax laws, and whatnot. And there are obstacles. There might be ways to be able to maneuver it, and there are ways to maneuver it. But the obstacles are very real. And maybe acknowledging those obstacles is the first step. It doesn't mean that we can't do it. It just means that it's difficult.
One tip. I think communication is, I know that's cliche. I know that's, we say it all the time. But I think communication is so key, because that one time that everybody's not in the right, is on the same page, it can have a ripple effect. And I just, from my personal experience, on working on some cases, that one time that communication is off, or somebody had an idea of something when it wasn't communicated, they come to the U.S. Or they come to this job under the assumption of something, and it ends up not being what they thought it would be. So I think communication is really critical. I think from the global mobility team, the hiring manager, the leader of that business, the HRBP, and then myself. Even though I am the local HR person, I think because I am familiar with the US immigration, for example, I can kind of navigate or have an idea of what the next few years will look like. So I guess, so it's important for me to be in that conversation initially to kind of give everybody an idea of, okay, this is what it's gonna go, this is what it will look like in the next 18 months to 2 years. Be prepared for this. So I think communication is key, and just making sure that everybody is involved in that communication.
Key challenges, I think, is always our proximity to the rest of the world. Our geographical footprint and the big pool of water around us is always a challenge. It's a psychological challenge, I think, for many people to kind of overcome, not to mention the spiders and the snakes that I know you good folk in the UK hate terribly. But I think some of the challenges on a mobility front is probably yet to be played out. We're seeing a little bit of change in the way that our tax office is navigating and understanding and evolving the legislation here.
I think the one tip that I would give is to make sure that you stay on top of different immigration changes, and then set the right expectations internally with stakeholders and especially with the employees. I think we've seen in the US, especially, every 4 years or maybe a little bit longer, but when we have a change in the president, a lot of the immigration policy can change. And I think that's definitely a really nerve-wracking thing for employees. And so being able to give them whatever information you have is going to be key to making sure you have happy stakeholders and happy employees.
It would be patience and open communication with all of the teams involved. That would be my main